Who's actually going to get value out of a cordless, wall-climbing pool robot, and who might be better off sticking with a cheap manual hose? Is the price justified for the average homeowner who just wants a clean pool without spending their weekends scrubbing? Those are the questions that keep most people up at night before they click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first heard about the GHRERTX Robotic Pool Cleaner, my biggest hesitation was the promise of 90-degree wall climbing. In a typical backyard pool, the biggest nuisance isn't the bottom, it's the waterline where algae loves to hide and the corners where the tiles meet the wall. A robot that can actually hug the wall and scrub those spots sounds great on paper, but I wondered whether the technology would actually translate to consistent cleaning or just be a gimmick that stalls halfway up. I've spent the last couple of weeks watching a friend's pool get tackled by the unit, and I've also run through a few online forums where owners compare the GHRERTX to older corded models. The consensus is clear: the biggest win is their intelligent path planning. The robot maps the pool and avoids running over the same area repeatedly, which means you get a more even clean and the battery lasts longer. That matters because a longer run time lets you finish a full-size 20-meter pool in one session without the unit needing a recharge mid-clean. So, who should consider buying this? If you have a medium-tonnage in-ground pool, say 10 feet or more in length, with a tiled or plaster wall, and you're willing to spend a bit more for a sit-and-forget experience, the GHRERTX makes sense. The cordless design eliminates the dreaded tripping hazard of a power cord, and the wall climbing ability really shines on pools with high waterlines where algae loves to gather. It's also a good fit for families that don't have the time or desire to haul out a vacuum and push it around every weekend. The app control is another perk. You can start the cleaning cycle from your phone while you're still in the car, which feels surprisingly modern for a pool accessory. On the flip side, there are buyers who should probably skip this robot. If you have a small above-ground pool, the unit's size and price become overkill. A simple manual vacuum or a cheaper robotic cleaner will do the job just fine. The same goes for people who rely heavily on a tight budget. While the GHRERTX isn't the most expensive robot on the market, it sits in a premium tier that may not be justifiable for occasional swimmers. Finally, if your pool has a lot of accessories like ladders, diving boards, or heavy water features, the robot's navigation can sometimes get confused, leading it to stall or miss spots entirely. In everyday use, the practical strengths are noticeable. The efficient cleaning claim isn't just marketing fluff. The robot's brush system picks up both fine debris and larger leaves without needing you to pre-rake the surface. In a test run, I dropped a handful of twigs into the water and watched the robot glide over them, pull them into its filter, and continue on without a hiccup. The filter cleaning process is also user-friendly. You pop out the cartridge, rinse it under a garden hose, and snap it back in. No need for specialized tools or disassembly. That's a real time saver for anyone who doesn't want to spend an hour every week digging through a clogged filter. The longer running time is another solid benefit. The battery holds up for about 90 minutes on a full charge, which is enough to finish a typical residential pool in one go. Earlier models of cordless cleaners would need a mid-cycle recharge, leaving a half-cleaned pool and a frustrated owner. The GHRERTX's battery management system seems to have learned from those missteps, and it consistently reaches the end of the cycle with a small amount of energy left, giving you a confidence boost that the job is truly complete. However, the robot isn't without its weaknesses. The wall climbing mechanism, while impressive, can be a bit finicky on very smooth or highly glazed surfaces. In one of the videos I watched, the unit hesitated at a spot where the wall had a slightly higher gloss finish, and it took a few extra seconds to re-engage its suction. It's not a deal-breaker, but it does mean you might see occasional pauses where the robot appears to be thinking. Another practical drawback is the reliance on the app. The interface is generally straightforward, but I did encounter a brief lag when trying to switch cleaning modes from my phone while the pool was still splashing. If you're in an area with spotty Wi-Fi, you might find yourself defaulting to the physical buttons on the unit, which are less intuitive than the app sliders. One area where the GHRERTX truly adds value is in the 4 cleaning modes. There's a quick sweep for light debris, a deep clean for algae buildup, a spot clean for stubborn patches, and a schedule mode that lets you set the robot to